What's the best boat for you? Whether you're fishing the flats for bonefish or trout, heading offshore trolling for dolphin, or bottom fishing for grouper, Florida Sportsman's Best Boat will provide the information you need to decide which boat is the best boat for you. Florida Sportsman's boating editor and trusted selected experts have traveled to some of Florida's hottest fishing locations to review the latest in outboard technology, as well as run 36 boats in 12 different classes, including flats boats, bay boats, and center consoles. Today on Florida Sportsman's Best Boat, we are traveling to the bass capital of the world, Lake Okeechobee, where trophy bass are caught every week out of Roland Martin's Marina. Our host, Dave East, boating editor of Florida Sportsman magazine, will be joined by bass fishing expert Tim Carini, who is a B.A.S.S tournament pro. Dave and Tim will take the class of high-performance 20-foot bass boats and put them through their paces. They'll be conducting walkthroughs, test drives, and reviewing key features, all to help you decide if this is the best boat for you.
Welcome to Florida Sportsman Best Boat. I'm your host, Dave East, boating editor of Florida Sportsman magazine. We're here to look at a class of boats designed to do one specific thing, target bass. And what a better place to do it than the world-famous Lake Okeechobee. Freshwater bass fishing may not have the variety of species that you fish for in an inshore saltwater condition, but what you will find is there are a lot of ways to catch them. Bass are ambush feeders. Their strikes are vicious and explosive. You can catch them a lot of different ways. You can use a topwater, you can use a worm on the bottom, you can use a crankbait in the water column, or a spinnerbait up into the weeds. But either way, bass fishing is a lot of fun. Bass boats come in many different forms, from an aluminum flat bottom to a tournament rig like this. But they all have one thing in common, the key features that let you target the most popular fish in freshwater. Not that you can't fish for other species out of a bass boat, you can. You can catch crappie, bluegill, catfish, but it's the way you fish out of a bass boat that makes it so comfortable for a full day of fishing on the water.
The bass boats that have the tournament-winning features that define this class are the Sterling 22DC, the Skeeter FX 20, and the Phoenix 920 Pro XP. The all-new Sterling 22DC is a careful blending of classic styling with all of the latest in bass boat technology. With a LOA of 21 feet 9 inches and a beam of 7 feet 7 inches, it weighs 2,300 pounds dry and carries 53 gallons of fuel. The 250 horsepower Yamaha V-Max outboard pinned us against the seat at 72 miles an hour while maintaining a stable ride due to the innovative quick-release hull design. Several industry firsts developed by the company include a raised flipping deck and offset high-performance transom. The large livewells will ensure your catch makes way in with redesigned fill, aerate, and pump-out systems. The Skeeter FX 20 is 20 feet 2 inches long and 95 inches wide. The dry hull weight is 2,075 pounds and has a max horsepower rating of 250. 50 gallons of fuel gives it plenty of range, and with the 250 horsepower Yamaha on the boat we tested, it had no problem to top out at over 60 miles an hour. Available in single or dual console designs, there's enough storage below the insulated aluminum hatch lids for all of your tackle and gear. There's even 2 built-in coolers. For the tournament angler, you'll find 2 separate live wells with independent fills and recirculating pumps on a timer. The unique transom design incorporates the use of a jack plate to eliminate the need for a splash well. With a history of pros fishing their boats, it's no wonder why the Phoenix 920 Pro XP is a tournament angler's dream. With a length of 20 foot 6 inches and a beam of 96 inches, the long list of standard features include 2 Lowrance fish finders, a Minn Kota trolling motor, plus an onboard battery charger. Weighing in at 1,850 pounds, it has a max horsepower of 250 and a fuel capacity of 50 gallons. The front and rear casting decks include 2 live wells with a recirculating system, rod lockers, ample storage, and 3 across seating. The boat we ran was powered with a Mercury 250 Pro XS, and we had a wide open throttle in the mid-60s.
Bow-mounted trolling motors, live wells, tons of storage, and hull designs that really perform. This is what makes a bass boat what it is, and may be the best boat for you.
Up next, Dave and Tim will take you through our featured 20-foot bass boats. There's plenty more to come, so stick around for more Florida Sportsman's Best Boat. This segment is brought to you by Yamaha. Reliability starts here.
It's 200 streamlined horsepower of Yamaha forward thinking. The all-new F200 inline 4-stroke. Whether you're an offshore angler, pontoon cruiser, bay boater, or walleye hunter, the responsive and fuel-efficient F200 combines amazing power and versatility in one incredibly compact and lightweight package. The all-new F200. Legendary Yamaha reliability and the freedom of forward thinking.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman's Best Boat. Let's get back to Dave and Tim as they help you decide what's the best boat for you.
All right, Tim, years of fishing B.A.S.S taught you a lot about bass boats, but let's say somebody's just new to bass boats and they're considering purchasing one, and maybe that's going to be the best boat for them. Let's go through some of the features they should be looking for to make sure that the boat really fits what their needs are.
Well, most of your time spent on a bass boat is spent right here on the front deck. One of the things this boat has as an option is an extra padded front carpet right here. You're going to be standing here fishing all day. Having that extra thick padding on this front carpet is key to making you comfortable throughout the day and decreasing your back pain and things of that nature. The other thing you want to look for is tackle storage. This boat has 2 storage compartments. Let you divide your tackle. The front one does have a lazy Susan. The back one here will also allows you to get some Plano boxes in, some soft plastics, whatever you're going to need to keep you going throughout the day.
Talking more about storage too, rod storage on every boat is really important because you want to make sure you carry a good assortment of fishing rods with you while you're going as well.
Correct. The boat features a rod box. You can fit a bunch of rods in here, keep them organized. There's rod tubes in there to keep them separated so they don't tangle. It's good when you're traveling to and from the lake, and also while you're out fishing. You can have 4 or 5 rods on the deck here and have backups in the rod box, and if you need them throughout the day, you just take them out.
There's one feature I love on bass boats. It's these little hold down latches that go across to hold your rods in place. You get in rough water and you hit a big wave, $200 rod over the side.
Yeah, these are real important to keep your rod secure, not only when you're running, but also when you're fishing. You don't want to accidentally kick one of your rods and kick it overboard. So I always make sure that mine are always strapped down, even when I'm just sitting there fishing.
Let's start up here at the bow and talk a little bit about the trolling motor. Any bass boat is going to have a trolling motor on the bow. I think the important thing is sizing the motor to the boat.
Correct.
You want to make sure that you've got one with enough thrust that can drag the boat around where you're really not, taxing the motor to be able to do its job.
Yeah, most bass boats, depending on the size, you're going to want anywhere from an 82-pound thrust up to a 101-pound thrust trolling motor. Really, you don't want anything below 82 pounds of thrust. Once you hit that 20-foot size, you're going to want a 101-pound thrust as well. A lot of the boats these days come with what they call a recessed trolling motor pedal, so you can actually get in here. It's flat, the trolling motor pedal is below the deck, so when you're standing up, you're standing on both legs for the most part. You're not having one leg up and standing with all your weight on one leg, because throughout the day it's going to tire you out.
Yeah, when we used to tournament fish, that was always a pain because you're always out of balance, especially in rough water. And there was a few times in rough water I had the pedal actually fly out of the boat, and we had to stop and pull it back in. So this is really a cool feature. Any guy that's going to be putting a bow-mounted trolling motor, having a recessed pedal is nice.
Is nice. Definitely makes the day more enjoyable.
Let's check in with Dave and Tim as they review the Florida Sportsman Best Boat Seminar Series.
Tim, let's talk about safety. In a bass boat that runs over 70 miles an hour, safety is paramount. Years ago, my bass boat ran 65, which is a slug by today's standards, and we barrel rolled it at 65 miles an hour. If it hadn't been for the life jacket and the kill switch I was wearing, the outcome would have probably been pretty grim.
With today's boats going so fast, even if you're an experienced driver, you should always have a life jacket on and a kill switch attached, especially if you're fishing by yourself. I see a lot of tournament guys during practice fishing alone without a kill switch, and that's just a bad idea all around.
Things happen fast at 70 miles an hour. This particular boat runs 80 miles an hour. At 80 miles an hour, things happen very, very fast.
It's like a race car driver. A race car driver would not get onto a track without a seatbelt on. And a boater of a bass boat should not get behind the wheel without their life jacket on and the kill switch attached.
So somebody that they're new to bass boats, they just purchased their first one, my suggestion would be go to the water and gradually work your way up to the high speed. I mean, the first thing they're gonna wanna do is get on the water and set their hair on fire and go tearing off. And that's the fun part about a bass boat. But safety concern, start off slow, get the feel of the boat, play with the trim. A lot of them have jack plates. Play with the jack plates because every time you touch anything, whether it's trim or a jack plate, it's gonna affect that hull.
These are high performance boats in every aspect, so absolutely if someone is a new bass boat driver, they need to take their time with it. There's a trim and tilt switch here on the steering column, so as you're driving, you can easily with one finger trim the motor up or down, go a little faster, have a little more boat in the water for a smoother ride. A lot of the boats have the option of getting a hot foot, something I'd highly recommend. That's a foot pedal for your throttle control, just like a gas pedal in a car. You can have both hands on the wheel instead of one hand on the throttle. So it gives you more control in rough water. That hot foot gives you the ability to adjust your speed in an instant.
So high performance boat, but if you take a few of these precautions, life jacket, kill switch, hot foot, and really just spend time to get to know the boat, you can operate them safely, and they're a lot of fun.
Absolutely, they're a lot of fun, and once you're familiar with it and comfortable with it, an angler can go out and have a lot of fun running from one spot to the next. So if fishing's a little slow, you get to have fun driving a boat. It's not a bad thing.
This segment is brought to you by the best-in-class Evinrude E-Tech 150 horsepower outboard engine. Proven power, proven reliability.
Evinrude E-Tech has been outperforming four-stroke engines for years. But what about the latest 150 four-strokes that claim to deliver two-stroke-like torque? See the proof for yourself. Get your free DVD now and watch how the two-stroke Evinrude E-Tech 150 outpulls and out-accelerates the four-stroke competition. See how it wins when it comes to maintenance, ease of winterization, and more. Evinrude E-Tech is the true champion. Go to evinrude150challenge.com and get your free DVD now.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman's Best Boat. Let's get back to Dave and Tim as they help you decide what's the best boat for you.
Let's talk a little bit about the consoles, because really you've got two choices. You've got dual console and you've got single console. Let's talk a little bit about the difference between the two and why one would be a better boat or a better fit than the other.
Well, with the dual console, the passenger is a little more protected from the elements, the wind, the rain, but it also makes it more difficult to move around for a real big guy. Yeah, with a single console, you actually have more space in your cockpit area, especially if you need to carry a lot of equipment. With this particular boat, you actually have the option. Here we have a dual console. There's a little lever here. We undo that. This comes out. Now we have a single console.
Single console boat.
And there's a plate here and a rod locker, a rod holder here, and some other accessories to cover up these attachments from where the console was.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about electronics, because when you're looking at a boat for the first time, you need to go ahead and plan what kind of electronics you're going to put, because a lot of bass boats have very, very limited space up here on the console. So if you're going to have a nice big unit, you got to make sure it fits. If not, you're going to have to put one of the pods out to the side, which works also. But here again, it'll take a little bit of planning, and that way you don't buy the boat and then you go pick out your unit just to find out that it's not going to fit.
That it's not going to fit, right. This happens to accommodate a Humminbird 1198, one of the biggest units you can have, so this wasn't an issue.
Move our way further back, there's an additional storage area here, there's storage there, there's even a cooler built in down here on the cockpit sole.
Correct, and as you see on this boat, this is a single console boat. One of the advantages of having a single console boat is you have a little more arm room here in the cockpit area. So if you're having a partner come fishing with you for the day and he's got a big tackle bag, he's got plenty of room to put it here, keep it out of the way, keep it out of the leg space, so when you're sitting down and driving, you're not all crammed.
Right, so that's a big consideration when you're looking at bass boats, if you're going to get a single or a dual console, because as we're running at high speeds, most of these things are 70 miles an hour plus. I'm comfortable, and I've got a little bit of a shield to get the wind over my head. You, unfortunately, you're going to be taking the brunt of it over on that side of the boat.
Absolutely, and if it's raining, I'm going to feel every raindrop coming in and hitting me. So there's always a little bit of a trade-off and a personal preference if you want a single console or a dual console. But the single console does give you a lot more room in the cockpit area. With the disadvantages, I'm exposed to the elements as the passenger.
Right, but if I want to go to the front deck and you're right there, with another console there, you're going to have to move for me to get out. This way, plenty of room.
Yeah, and if you're a big guy or if you fish with a big guy a lot, a single console is nice. My father is a big guy. I have a dual console boat, and it's not easy for him to get in between the two consoles to get to the front.
Right.
With the single console, he has a little more room for his larger body shape.
Now, dash layout. I think it's very important to plan this before you buy the boat. Look at the boat, figure out your electronics, and see if what you want to use for your electronics will even fit. This boat here, this is a nice big unit, but it won't fit in this area here, so it had to go with a pod mount, which is actually pretty cool.
Let's check in with Tim as he presents the Florida Sportsman Best Boat Seminar Series.
You know, David, one of the things that's real important with these boats is the live well system. You want to have a real good live well, a big live well, and one that has pump-ins, recirculate, and various options. Keeping the fish alive is real important. You know, typically I like to keep my pump-ins on, which just fills up the live well throughout the day nonstop. A lot of the boats do have a timing system on it. I just keep mine on all the time, and it'll fill up with fresh water, with oxygen. There's drainage holes that allow it to drain out so it doesn't overflow. And it's really healthy for the fish to keep changing out their water, because as they sit in the live well, they'll put chemicals into it, you know, that comes out of their skin and out of their bowel movements and such, and that'll pollute the water. So keeping your live wells on all the time is really important. In the event I have to go into really shallow water, really dirty water, or maybe a marina that has a lot of boat traffic and a lot of gas and fumes in the water, then I'll stop it from the pump-ins and put it on the recirculate. That'll keep the water that's in there, not letting any new water in, and just keep recirculating it. So that'll help it from getting contaminated, but it doesn't allow as much oxygen in it as pumping it in. You know, the fish we caught earlier, he's been sitting in there, going nonstop. Let's go take a look and see how good he looks and how fresh he is. Yeah, she is still nice and fresh, healthy. We're gonna bring her back to the weigh-in, back to the marina, get her weighed, just to get a real good official weight, and then we can let her go and swim back. So a live well is important not only for a tournament angler, but for the recreational angler. You catch a nice fish like this, you really want to get a picture with it, get an official weight, maybe get a replica mount, and then you can let the fish swim off and spread her good genetics for future generations to catch. That's a good fish, man.
Salt Life Sport Optics, Zeiss lenses, Rypel technology, total UV protection. Live the salt life. Minimize color distortion and glare to retain true color recognition. Combine lifestyle and high performance. Salt Life Sport Optics.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman's Best Boat. Let's get back to Dave and Tim as they help you decide what's the best boat for you.
The reason the live wells are back here is this is one of the more stable positions on the boat. Up front in rough water, it can bounce a little bit. We're back here, it's a little more stable and it helps the fish out more. There's a couple of reasons why we have divided live wells. One is for a tournament angler. The driver's side puts his fish here, the passenger puts his fish there, keeps them separated.
What if I want to use one of your fish at the weigh-in? That doesn't work.
You can't do that, but if you have one over 5 pounds, then I'm allowed to use it. That's the rule. Just kidding.
Well, got additional storage back here as well.
Yeah, this is great storage. If your buddy's coming fishing with you, he can put his tackle in here, extra rain gear or clothes if it's cold. And also you can put your necessities for your boat. You can put a spare prop, a first aid kit, whatever you might need for your day on the water.
Right. Apparently this is owned by Jason. Where's the hatchet?
I'm trying to think, is today Friday? Because if it is, I'm out of here. And this boat's a little unique in the fact that it has high water pickup. So when you're going 60, 70 miles an hour, there's water intakes right here on the bottom side of the hole, putting fresh water into your live wells as you're running. So if you're making an hour run in the tournament, your fish are still getting fresh water, fresh oxygenated water, and that's very key.
Right, and have a live fish at weigh-in is really important, because I guess you get taxed if you bring a dead fish, or they even weigh a dead fish.
They'll weigh a dead fish. Depending on the tournament, you're going to lose a lot of ounces, and ounces can make the difference between a top 10 finish and not getting a check.
Right. Plus, it's good to release them after the tournament. They want to release the fish, so it helps to replenish the fishery.
Absolutely. You know, all anglers, even tournament anglers, their conservation is first. You know, all of us like the resources, want to keep the fish alive and want to keep the lakes as healthy as possible. So it's a win-win for everybody.
And even if you're not bass fishing, we've used our live wells before for crappie, for bluegill. It's just a good place to keep them. They're alive, they're fresh. Then if you're going to keep a few for table fare, you don't have to worry about them being on ice or whatever. You can't get a fresher fish when it's been swimming around in water all day.
Or if you're at a big bass factory like here in Lake Okeechobee and you catch a 10-pounder and you don't have a camera, you can put them in the live well, go back to the marina, take some pictures, and then release the fish. So it's helpful in many, many ways.
Raymond, thank you very much. We've had a great time here at Roland Martin's Resort. Lake Okeechobee is just awesome. We've caught some huge fish. Tell us a little bit more about the facility.
Wow, Roland and Marianne Martin's Marina has been here for 30 years. This is our 30th anniversary. We host fishing tournaments from all over the world. Fishermen come from all over the country, actually. We actually had people from Sweden here 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
On a guide trip. You know, we're glad to have you. I hope you guys had a great time. We've got accommodations anywhere from condominiums, motels, trailers, RV parks, a little bit of everything here on the south shores of Lake Okeechobee.
Yeah, one stop for everything. You got a restaurant here, you got the store, you got a place to fish, a place to stay, a place to launch your boat, and it's very beautiful.
Well, we're the best kept secret in Florida, and here in a couple of weeks we're having a Youth Federation Championship, and that's why they chose this location, because they said, hey, for our youth, they're walking back and forth the rooms, they can eat here, they fish here, it's just great. There's not a better venue.
All right, if you decided that a bass boat is the best boat for you, Roland Martin's Marina has got to be on your short list of places to visit. See you next time on Florida Sportsman Best Boat.
You don't have to be a tournament pro to appreciate these super fast, decked out bass boats. Whether you're a weekend warrior or working your way up the circuit standings, a bass boat in this class will help you catch more fish. And with their heart-pounding performance and innovative features, it may just be the best boat for you. Be sure to tune in next time to see more of the 36 boats we tested, from skinny water-capable 16-foot technical poling skiffs all the way to Gulfstream fishing machines in the 42-foot center console class. From stalking bonefish on the flats to pelagics in the ocean, or if you prefer quality time with the family, let Florida Sportsman help find the best boat for you. Camera boat provided by Carolina Skiff. For more information on the Best Boat series, pick up a copy of our new magazine, Florida Sportsman Best Boat, at newsstands, or visit us on the web at floridasportsman.com.